Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. It's Scooby-Doo Tuesday, guys. You know what that means. Of course, it means we're here continuing Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. This is Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, Season 1, Episode 18, The Dragon's Secret. I like that title, The Dragon's Secret. So the last two episodes have been pretty monumental in terms of information we're getting, essentially, from the overarching mystery that's surrounding Crystal Cove and the show entirely. Episode 16 had Professor Pericles do all this stuff in regards to, you know, sending the love potion or whatever, that formula or whatever that woman wanted to use for revenge on Crystal Cove for what happened to her in high school and everything. And of course it didn't affect him, and Scooby-Doo used Scooby essentially to find all this stuff to invent the cure, but also for his own personal things in regards to finding this treasure somewhere within Crystal Cove, like underneath it or whatever, that could destroy Crystal Cove or something like that. It's pretty insane. Then the last episode, episode 17, they actually found the manor, like this gigantic house that fell under like decades ago, and there was like a whole family fighting over this like jewel, or not jewel, but some sort of like artifact or whatever. And the little boy was the only one who survived, and he thought the original Mystery Incorporated was coming back because they actually showed up, I guess, the night they disappeared, from what I'm understanding. They showed up, and he thought that they were coming back, so he had all these traps set up or whatever, and then essentially it ended with the earth or whatever opening up again, and the house falling apart again, the manor, and he sacrificed himself and allowed Mystery Inc., of course, Scooby and the gang, along with his precious, his treasure, to go with them. And at the end there as well, while they're standing there, it cuts to, the camera pulls back, and we see Fred's dad sitting in his car, driving off. I'm like, why are you there? So I have a lot of questions. I'm not really sure what's going on, but they're really diving into more of the mystery and everything in terms of the overarching mystery of the show, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. This show is so good. I'm so invested, and I'm loving every single episode for the most part. The Wild Brood, I feel like they could have done something else with that episode, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyways, here we go, episode 18, The Dragon's Secret. Let's go.
Do you have any jewelry? You know, like rings and stuff?
Of course.
Rings and stuff, that's jewelry, so. If you're not supposed to show it to anybody, why is it on a display case? Like, why is it there?
It's not for sale.
Well, thanks anyway.
She took it. She swiped it out, yep.
Look, just tie it down until I get home. I've come for my ring. Of course.
That voice. It's not in there. Oh my god. All because you stole the ring.
Tonight's the first time my parents will see Fred and me as a couple. I just want everything to be perfect.
Those are my friends. Watch out for the skinny
Oh,
Fred.
that's her. We just saw her. Okay.
There isn't gluten in these noodles, is there? Probably should have told you.
This is Miley. She's visiting from China.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Please try one of my. Excuse me.
He knows that ring.
No, there's a delegate from China visiting
Oh.
Crystal Cove right now.
Then I'll be there. For sure. Playing with fire.
I mean, yeah. She doesn't care. She stole a
Mr.
ring.
Wang, what you
Oh,
guys
boy.
need. There is much we can learn from you.
You've been to China?
That's the guy.
No,
I think that's the same voice. That's the guy.
The last time you were that polite to me, I spent a month locked in my bedroom listening to, now that's what I call breakup song 16.
Oh.
Mr. Wang, we. That is a lovely ring, Miss.
Lee. Miley.
Where did you find such a treasure?
Well,
At some junk store.
now we know why he really showed up at Crystal Cove. He was tracking her. Yeah.
Bug Scoob.
Mr. Wang, friends, Fred. I would just
Oh, he's
like
singing
to
off for
say,
Fred.
did you know that
Oh. What the hell's going on? Oh.
Do not disturb the dragon's heart, or you
my God.
will pay the price.
Oh my god. All the red lightning.
What is the dragon's heart?
Good question. Wait, what's that? Oh my god.
You booby-trapped Daphne's house?
I mean,
Booby trapped all your houses.
I was like, they didn't do that.
Everything I did.
Mr. Wang, I am so sorry about
He's behind all this,
Spare me.
I think.
Things like this always happen when the Jones boys are around. Daphne, I want your idiot boyfriend out of my house. Did you hear that? Your dad called me your boyfriend.
Dust or something?
It's some kind of red dust.
Looks pretty quiet out there.
Where's my lip gloss?
Daphne, where's
Careful.
Gold?
Oh my god.
Guess there was one other thing
What?
I didn't tell.
We've got something from every food group.
Of course it
Salty,
does.
sugary,
I'm not
toffee,
surprised.
and ice cream.
He's being left out of the ice cream. That's wrong. It's
I feel your
wrong.
pain, dog.
I am so sorry.
Save it.
How is this possible? It's a different guy.
The wizard from the party.
That's the wizard from the party.
Exactly, there's two of them.
Wizards.
We're gonna see a wizard duel right now? A wizard duel? I think so, yeah. I think the blue wizard is the guy who's visiting town. I don't know who the other guy is, though. My god.
I second that, Scoob.
Quick, everybody, back in the van.
Yeah, run. Get out of there. Oh, she's being taken. Of course. And what's the ring? Oh, careful. Ooh, nice.
I owe you my life.
This show just got so bonkers right now. Two fucking wizards fighting? What the hell?
Now what?
Well, it's not over. There's no downtime in this episode. My god. Just keeps going.
Give me the ring.
Oh, shit.
Jinkies! I have searched every corner of the internet, and I cannot
Nothing?
find anything about the
Wow.
dragon's heart.
I suppose it's time you should know that the red wizard who's been popping up out of
You.
nowhere.
It's him.
Legend has it that you must use 4 sacred rings to gain access to the dragon's heart. You're in luck because the jade dragon is right over there.
I kind of figured.
I sure hope no one notices this window
God.
is gone. and steals
Stop.
My jade dragon.
Ooh. Nice. My god. Very elaborate trick.
I see giblet ponies, Fred. Why do you have a geisha tied up in here? You know they belong downtown.
Mr. Wang?
It was obvious.
Surprise.
No.
What? Wang? Mine!
You won't be needing these anymore.
Now it all makes sense. Mr. Wang posed as the evil white kung fu wizard to steal the 4th dragon ring from Mai Li.
How did he make himself fly?
Oh, the same way I did. Jetpack.
Oh!
Jet? I don't think I can explain that.
I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you.
Save it, Wang. We've heard it all before.
It's time for me to return to China.
China? Like when you leave?
Now.
One of the things I always wanted a boy to do was surprise me and see me off as I was leaving on a plane.
Wait, what? Wait.
Fight
Oh.
mine.
Hello, dude. Or should I say, Mai Li? He just used us to get Wang out of the way so that you could get the other rings.
That's right. While you and your idiot friends were explaining Wang's plan.
Oh my gosh. Oh!
He's too good for you.
Mm,
Dog issues or no
I like
dog
that.
issues.
It's too good for you.
I still don't know what that means.
Your cockamamie trap actually worked. That's awfully nice of you to say, sir.
How did you know that Mai Li would step right in the middle of your trap?
I didn't. That's why I set traps all over this boat.
Oh.
Did what?
Oh, Freddy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this episode was fun and over the top. I really enjoyed it. I love how they progressed the episode. And that wizard fight, I wanted more of it. I honestly wanted more of it because it was so crazy and it was so cool visually and everything. It was really awesome. So I actually have the voice cast actually pulled up for the episode to make sure I get the names correct for the new characters we got introduced to in the episode. And I thought I heard her voice. I wasn't 100% sure, but it is confirmed here. Hot Dog Water that had that little sequence was voiced by Linda Cardellini. I hope I pronounced her last name correctly. The actress who actually played Velma in the 2 live-action Scooby-Doo films. That was really cool they had her in here. I'm like, that, as the sequence was ending, I'm like, that sounded kind of like her, but I'm not 100% sure. Who knows, right? But it sounded like her, and it's correct. So, let's talk about the episode. So, the opening, we had Mai Li, the new girl in the episode, ultimately betrays at the end, right? So, the opening, she goes into the store, and there's this ring on display. And he's like, well, technically I'm not supposed to let anybody see that, or, you know, I'm not supposed to show that to anybody. And I'm thinking, well, why is it in a display case? If you can't show the ring to a customer, why is it in a display case to potentially sell? And then she asked if it's for sale, and he says, well, no, I'm holding it for a customer. Like, okay, so you should have led with that, because I'm questioning, why are you why is there a ring openly in like the middle spot of the display case, open up in the box? Why is that there if it's not meant for sale? Because if you're holding it for a customer, put it in the back. Don't put it in the display case. But of course, they had to make it to where she sees the ring, she takes it. It makes sense now why she betrays at the end, because ultimately she wanted that ring. She wanted the rest of the rings. She wanted all of them. And so, of course, she found them and everything, and of course got the ruby or whatever, the dragon's heart and all that. I think that's what they call it, right? The dragon's heart. Anyway, so that giant jewel. So it makes sense why she just swapped the rings in the beginning of the episode and took that one that wasn't supposed to be for her, because, you know, the whole plan, it was all built up, it was all a plan. So she, of course, exchanges for only 2 weeks to Crystal Cove, which I'm guessing, so 2 weeks passed by when she got introduced in the episode in terms of being in Crystal Cove, I guess, because she said it was a 2 weeks, but maybe she pushed up the timetable because she's going back, because everything's changed now. I have no idea. But then the twist at the end, I was quite surprised by that, but we'll get to that in a second. So we have Mr. Wang, who was being credited as the White Wizard, voiced by George Takei. That was really cool. And I kind of suspected that a little bit into the episode, like, that's not a George Takei, I'm not 100% sure, but at first when I heard his voice, I'm like, that's a dark voice. Like, he, like, when he walks into the store or whatever, you don't see his face. I was like, I didn't hear George's voice right away, I just heard this deep voice. I'm like, that's a pretty deep voice. But the White Wizard, a really cool design. And then, of course, we had Chen, who's been in the show before as the Red Wizard. That whole sequence was bonkers as hell. And, of course, leading up to that and everything about where Mai Li was, like, really digging Shaggy and everything. And then, of course, they're there. And he recognizes the ring. Chen does. And then, of course, that's when everything kind of goes haywire, because here comes the wizard fight. Visually, like I was saying in the beginning of the review here, visually, it is one of the coolest things the show has done so far. That fight was so interesting. And of course, the reveal of how they actually flew or whatever with jetpacks, of course, was, you know, a fun little reveal. I'm like, how are they going to explain that? But they also don't explain the powers, essentially, like the electricity powers or whatever. They don't explain that aspect of it. They just only explain the flying aspect of it, which I guess I get, because they were flying around like they actually could fly, so it was kind of over the top in that sense. But I like the designs of the two wizards and just the way they went about showing it. Because what it reminded me of, and this might be kind of a weird comparison, it reminded me a little bit of Dragon Ball Z when there's big fights going on with powers and shit, and how, like, because they really made that fight more grander in scale than a lot of sequences in this show, like in terms of them flying around Crystal Cove and like the smoke hitting off of buildings and stuff when they're firing at each other with their different powers and everything. It was just so well done. Like, it was really well done in how they executed it. I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to see more of it. It was just so cool. But then again, I think if you would have made that more of the episode, which I would have loved, I think it would have taken away from the aspects and the aesthetics of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, or Scooby-Doo in general, because Scooby-Doo, like the shows and the films, are not grand like this and over the top like this. Like, a lot of the times it's smaller scaled stuff with the monster of the week, the villain of the week. And so having this grand fight over Crystal Cove between these two wizards that seem to have powers and shit and can fly around, it could essentially take you out of the fact that it's a Scooby-Doo episode and that it's something like a superhero show or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So I get why it's only a portion of the episode, but I really wish we could have seen more of that aspect of it, because it was really interesting and how it all tied in and everything. And that whole sequence too, where, because I thought at first when the wizard showed up, the Red Wizard, Chen of course was there, and they were having some sort of dinner or whatever, of course, where Daphne's like, oh, Fred's my boyfriend, and all that stuff, and like, oh my god, my boyfriend. And they're at this dinner, and Mr. Wang's freaking out, sitting there. I'm thinking, okay, so it's one of the, because I'm thinking he's a part of whatever's about to happen here. He didn't know what was going on. He saw the Red Wizard Chan, he saw that, and his reaction was pure in regards like, oh my god, what the hell's going on? Because he wasn't in on it. Because I was thinking back on previous stuff where we've seen like the villain or the monster or whatever, and the person who actually is playing it is standing right there or nearby, and they're pretending to freak out. In this instance, he wasn't a part of that little trick where he was warning about, you having that ring, like, Mai Li, like, I look at the name again, I almost mispronounced it again. Hope I'm pronouncing it correct the whole time here with even looking at Mai Li, but warning about the ring. So Chen reveals himself after the fight sequence and everything, and he's like, oh, he's got all the rings now, right? Because then ultimately the White Wizard, Mr. Wang, showed up at Velma's house. And of course, we don't see the parents or whatever. Of course, we don't see her parents. And he gets the last ring, and he's off, and he's going to go and open up the Jade Dragon to get the red ruby or whatever, the jewel that is the dragon's heart. And of course, the dragon is right there. I wonder if in previous episodes of the show, when he's appeared, like Chan in his restaurant, if we've actually seen that Jade Dragon before. I might have to go back and try to watch some scenes and try to find it, like we've seen it before, because it could be set up. Like, you know, eventually we're going to get to the storyline. Let's have this Jade Dragon, unless they've never showed it told now, because maybe they didn't think about it before. But it was like, okay, the dragon is openly right there. And then his little thing about closing up, well, I hope no one notices that this window's open. I'm like, calm down. Like, no, you don't have to, like, I hope no one notices that this window is open. But that was still a funny moment. But still, like, you didn't need to do that, but it was still funny. And then, of course, the trap worked. Because the trap at dinner with Daphne's parents did not go well. And so the trap thankfully worked at Chan's restaurant. And then, of course, the trap worked again on the boat. Because when she said, I have to get on a plane, she gets on a boat, because I saw the silhouette jump over from the docks or whatever into the boat. I'm thinking, is that her? And her voice changed a little bit, it seems, when she actually pulled out the dragon's heart. And there's Shaggy. I'm like, okay. Because at first I'm thinking, like, it's going to be revealed that there's someone else on the boat. Like, I didn't expect them to actually capture her and realize she was betraying and everything, but they figured it out. And then, of course, she gets captured by the one trap, and Daphne's dad has to ask the dumb question. Or no, it was actually his mom, Daphne's mom. One question: how did you know that she would land in that exact spot to get captured? Oh, I didn't. This thing's trapped. Like, this whole boat is filled with traps. And then, of course, they both get trapped. And then, of course, we see a little sequence as well about how she used all the rings to get the dragon's heart out or whatever. So, I expected the ending with Mr. Wang. I expected that. I wasn't expecting the other twist that her whole plan was to manipulate Mystery Incorporated to get to the dragon's heart. Like, that was her whole goal. It was never about, you know, actually being there as Florida Exchange unit. She just happened to come across this ring. It was all planned. It was all planned out. Wonder what happened to that guy, by the way, that was in that store that accidentally, like, let her see the ring, and then, of course, she took it. I'm guessing I don't think he's dead. Did Mr. Wayne kill him? Hey, it's a question to ask him when he's arrested, right? Like, did you kill that man? I'm assuming he didn't. I don't think the show would ever do that. I don't know. But I really enjoyed how they progressed the episode. Some of the funnier moments. And now I feel more bad for Shaggy because, like, well, Shaggy in a sense made the wrong decision to break up with Velma. But now he understands what heartbreak is because he really cared for Miley. And now, ultimately, yeah, she was a bad person. And I like the little moment too where Velma, like, is talking to her and she's like, he's too good for you. Like, I like that. She's actually defending him, which actually makes sense though, because I mean, Miley was manipulating all of them, but especially Shaggy. Like, she was really manipulating Shaggy, like pretending like, I really like you and everything. I was like, no, you don't. But pretending to, you know, because she was manipulating them. So it was a whole con. It was a whole ploy, damn it. And it really worked out. I didn't expect that twist. That's what I love about shows like this, is that sometimes they'll throw a twist in like this and I'll see them coming, and other times I don't. I did not expect that. I should have known, because she just happens to take that ring, but at the same time, who knows? Like, who knows the context of her showing up at that shop? But then again, it should make sense because there was no one else outside. It was dark, and the shop shouldn't really be open. And she goes in, and she happens to see that. Like, too many coincidences. So maybe I should have guessed the twist early on. Maybe you guys did. Maybe you guys saw it before I did, or when you've watched it for the first time. But for me, I don't know. So anyways, what you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Whatever thoughts you have, guys, about this episode, please let me know in the comments below this video. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.